How do we write a mixed number as an improper fraction? Well, let's find out. So one method that I've heard before and I teach to my students is the backwards C. So backwards C, think about the English letter C. Typically you would make it right from top to bottom, I think is the stroke order for that. So a backwards C, we would kind of be going, from bottom to top, making a C that way. So that's how we're going to establish or come up with our numerator of our improper fraction. And then the denominator, we're just going to keep it the same. So one example that I have here before we get into doing 3 examples together is 2 5/8. So what we mean by the backwards C is we want to go from denominator to the whole number. We're going to multiply. So that's what we see right here, right? We're multiplying. So 8 times 2 would be 16. And then we're going to finish the C by adding the numerator. So there's our plus sign right there. So we would have 16 plus 5, and that would be 21. So that's how we get our numerator. And then we said the denominator, we're going to keep it the same. So 21 over 8, that would be our improper fraction. And so we could check this by doing long division if we wanted to. So 21 over 8 would be like having 21 divided by 8, long division style like that. Well, how many times does 8 go into 21? Well, that would be 2 times, right? 16, and 21 minus 16 would be 5. And notice here, when we're first starting out with long division, you might say that's a remainder of 5, but the fraction part of our mixed number would be 5 over 8, and that's what we started with, 2 5/8, okay? So let's use this backwards C method for 3 examples in this video, and then you'll know how to write a mixed number as an improper fraction. So number 1, we have 1 3/5, so 5 times 1 would be 5. And then we're going to add 3. Okay, so 5 plus 3 would be 8, and then we're going to keep that same denominator, so this would be 8/5. Okay, so if we think about 8/5, well, 5/5 would be 1, right? And we have 3 left, so 1 3/5. All right, number 2, how does this apply? How does this change when it's negative? It doesn't change. All we need to do is make sure our answer is negative at the end. But for right now, we can think about it as just positive 6 7/8. So if I did 8 times 6, that would be 48 plus 7. So now we have 48 plus 7, that's going to be 55. So we have 55 over 8. And what did we say? We just want to make sure we put our negative sign on our improper fraction. Okay, so once again, 55 over 8, well, if we think about 48 over 8, that would be 6. And then how many what do we have left in the numerator? We would have 7 left, right? So negative 55 over 8 for number 2. And lastly, 5 1/6. So 6 times 5 would be 30. And then we're going to add 1. So that's going to be 31 over 6 for our last example. And once again, 30 over 6 would be 5, right? And we'd have 1 over 6 left. So that answer checks out. And that's how you can use the backwards C to write a mixed number as an improper fraction.